Hi, welcome back to the Jack and Glenn channel. I'm Jackie.
And I'm her husband, Glenn.
He's my husband, Glenn.
Yes, I am. Before we get started, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell notification. Make sure that you don't miss any of our episodes of this show or any other show that we review. So make sure you hit the subscribe button and the bell notification. Also, join us on Instagram.
Please. All right, husband.
All right. Season 11, episode 2. We start off where we left off a little bit at episode 1 with Karen talking to the producers about how she received a text from a mysterious person, friend, enemy, foe, whoever. Anyway, she got a text stating that she knew the name of the person that she was getting ready to marry, and then she went on an investigating spree as if she was Nancy Drew, Scooby-Doo, whether she was Columbo, Mike Hammer, any of your sleuths that you see on TV. CSI. Well, I guess she didn't marry nobody, not CSI. But either way, she went on an investigating hunt and she found out what the guy's name. Found out his name was Miles. Found out what kind of job he did. Found out that he worked with kids. She found out that he was too emotional and that she didn't want to marry an emotional guy. And if she met him out in the club somewhere, it wouldn't be the type of guy that she would talk to. So Karen was having a bad day on her wedding day, but I do give her credit. She did tell the producers what was going on.
Yes, which we obviously knew she would, and we speculated whether or not she would say something to Miles. But before we get there, you know, she's still kind of caught up in everything, but she decides she's gonna go ahead with it. Mm-hmm. She's gonna go ahead with it.
And, you know, and her friends calmed her down. She got, you know, this is what she wanted to do. She wanted to get married. Her sister came in and calmed her down a little bit. And, you know, her sister looked like mom a little bit. Mm-hmm. You know, but she was relaxed. And so she went through it. She got dressed and, you know, did everything that she needed to do, get the makeup and stuff done and getting ready. Then we go on Miles' side. And Miles is like, yo, his dad was there giving him some advice. Like, son,
gave him a good pep talk.
It's like a bank account. Whatever you put in, you know, is what you're going to get out. He said, just always make sure you got something in the bank account. We don't want to make no empty withdrawals so you be over some overdraft fees. And we don't want no overdraft fees in this marriage. We always want to put stuff in the bank and always have something deposited in. And you need to start depositing stuff into this marriage, which I thought was sound advice from his father. Gave him some good advice, a good pep talk, and Miles was ready to go.
It was good to see Miles' daddy.
Yeah, it was
some encouragement.
Yeah, you need that every once, but Miles is ready to go. He's ready to get married. I think people love Miles. I think this would be the guy that people want to see do well, and I think Miles is going to continue to do well in this episode and in this show, in this season.
And I'm gonna share this. This is what we talked about. We already feel like. I feel like.
Yeah, you feel like.
But you said it too. We always feel like Karen cannot do Miles wrong.
Yeah, she can.
I'm going skull drug Karen.
Yeah, she better not mess this up.
Don't do him wrong. He's sweet. I'm going to feel like it's the opposite of Keith and Iris.
Yeah.
Like, I'll be so upset because he's so sweet. And, Karen got a little reassurance from her mom. I think her mom is uncomfortable with it, but it's like, if you're going to go through with it, like, let's just go ahead. You know, you look beautiful. You can't cry. Don't mess your makeup up. You're going to be fine. Yeah. And Miles comes in and like Karen's side is all eyes, and he is so sweet, and he sees mom and he introduces himself and, can I hug you? I want to give you a hug. He is so sweet.
He got some man. You can tell he was groomed up. He got some good manners. And then she comes in and she looks down the aisle and she sees his family and see her and she comes up there and Miles, like I said, once again, being a gentleman.
Yes.
Right? Whispers in her ear, telling her, I got you. You look beautiful. I got this. I got us. We're going to be okay. Giving her reassurance, knowing that she was nervous, knowing that she had some apprehension, knowing that she had some problems or situations that she at the altar. But he always reassured her. Even when she cried, my man's like, you know what? Let me get that for you. And so he was even like so sweet enough to have a handkerchief in his pocket to wipe her tears away, and that really calmed her down. And you know what? Kudos to Miles. But you know what? I'm one of these people. We've seen a lot of people at the altar give a lot of things and say a lot of things, say a lot of stuff, and didn't work out. So right now, as day one, Miles and Karen, you know what? Good luck. But we'll see how it goes on for the next 8 weeks.
Yeah, I'm just hoping and praying that Miles don't let me down. He's got a good. He expressed, his faith and what's going to get them through.
And the vows,
please don't let me down. Neither one of them.
Their vows were good. They enjoyed their vows, you know. And even after they, he asked the preacher, like, "Can you kiss the bride?" You know, she gave him the cheek, and it's fine. He says,
"Can I give you a kiss?" And she was like, "Yes, on the cheek." Oh, Karen, let that man give you a little peck. It's a peck. It's a peck.
Hey, look, it's a peck. But you know what? Miles said in episode 1, if his wife wants to wait, he's down. He said that he's willing. He said he's willing to go her pace in order for the marriage to last. So guess what? I expect him to be true to his word. And if she didn't want to kiss on the lips, guess what? He wasn't going to give it to her. And then even when they went to take pictures, he was up close to her, and you could see him being more involved. She was kind of
a little standoffish,
held back a little bit, trying to open up. I think after they had a conversation, they started talking. She realized he was involved in kids, and she did research.
But they took the pictures after that, so she should have been a little more loose.
She should have been a little bit more loose.
Okay, so yeah, like we said, so they go up on, it looked like a rooftop somewhere, and they had their little, they're after the traditional, after the vows, little convo they had, and she says, "Well, got something to tell you."
And I was happy, man. I'm glad she told him that night instead of waiting for the honeymoon and all this other stuff. I'm glad she got it out of the way first, and that's what I like about her. She got it. She met it head on, like, you know what? And he wasn't upset. He was like, just, "Oh, you got a little head start than I did."
Yeah, she told him I went sleuthing. He was like, "I'm kind of jealous. You got a leg up on me. I don't think that's fair." But, she dug all in it. And we were trying to sort through the story. She said that her bridesmaid got a text that should have gone to one of the groomsmen. And then apparently the bridesmaid sent it to her. I'm not sure about those details, but at least she did tell him.
And that's what good. You wanted to start your wedding off with some honesty.
Yeah.
She started out with honesty. She started off with some transparency. They had some good conversation. They had a nice dance, even though at their wedding reception. We saw they talked a little bit. Didn't see too much at the reception. They interacted. Miles' friend came up, Alexander, gave a good funny speech.
Yeah.
Which was good for them. So it worked well. So right now, Miles and Karen are looking like things are going to work out. They ended a little shaky last week. But as they said, I do, and they're getting to know each other. It seems like she's getting a little bit more comfortable with Miles. And we'll see how things work out next week. So hopefully they'll stay together.
Yeah, and I just want to add that Karen's friend Caroline, she gave a really nice speech. And she was like, "Oh, she's going to make me cry." And it also, her speech kind of went back to what the family had to say about Karen and Miles at the wedding. It was, it was a good correlation. So I still think they're a good match. Yeah. And I'm excited to see where they're gonna go. Yeah. And I hope she's gotten out of that he's not my type, because she did admit he's very gentlemanly, very sweet and gentle with me. So I think she's feeling like, okay, he's not my type, but I'm gonna make the best of it and start from square one.
I hope she ain't want no hood dude. What you want you want a nice guy. I don't know. I guess everybody have their own type. So
yeah,
we'll move on.
Yep. All right. So then we have Olivia and Brett.
Olivia and Brett. Look, Brett did a total 180. I'm gonna go right there.
Yeah.
Brett is a totally different dude that we saw last week. I think
it was the licks.
It might have been a liquor. It might have been a liquor. It might have been an alcohol. It might have been the fact that it was a bachelor party, and he was like, this is my last time being single, so let me get all the wildness and all this out of me before I get married to this young lady. We found out we already knew they both like cats, but they found out each other that they both like cats. That was his concern too. Was like, I hope she liked cats. As he was getting dressed, and she was like, well, I hope he liked cats. Well, those who cat lovers, God bless y'all. that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not a cat.
Yeah, I'm glad it worked out for them.
I'm glad it worked out for them. I'm not a big cat fan.
Yeah, because but his brother was definitely like, what's a deal breaker for you besides the fact that if she's not a cat lover, she's not a cat person. So again, it worked out for them.
It worked out for them, but he was even doing a reception. Well, at the wedding, he was calm. He was relaxed when they came down the aisle. He was like, "Yo, you beautiful." He gave her some good compliments. He even was kind of comforting. I'm like, "Oh man, this is the same Brett." Like, hold on for a minute. Like,
yeah, I was surprised.
Brett was a different guy.
But we did find out, which we kind of knew already, before they came down the aisle. Olivia was excited to see her dad.
Yeah.
She said they don't live very close, but she said she talks to him 45 times a week. And so she got comfort in seeing her dad there. And Brett's talking to his brothers. 2 of his brothers. He's got several brothers. Yeah. And his brother was like, I hope she knows we're loud, we're sarcastic, and we're going to pick with you. So I hope she got a strong
sense of humor,
backbone, and she ain't got her feelings on her sleeve much. they seem kind of rough.
And then we said something as it was coming in, like, man, Brett don't have too many people here at the wedding.
Yeah, well, we noticed some empty seats over there. Seats.
But you know what he said? He said about his parents. His parents weren't comfortable being on camera. They didn't realize the whole camera thing, and so they didn't want to be comfortable being on camera. So I reckon some of his family didn't come because of the camera situation. But they had sweet vows. Mm-hmm. And she let him kiss her.
She, unlike Karen and Miles, they exchanged a peck.
Yes.
And they both acknowledged. I was kind of scared with the way Brett was acting if he was going to like Olivia, but he said he thought she was cute. She would be somebody that he probably would have picked on his own. And she said, I'm attracted to my husband. So that's good. Kudos. I'm happy about that.
And then they found out as they talked, they had a lot of things in common. They both like to be at home. Homebodies rather watch movies at home. Mm-hmm. He said, I can eat my own snacks, sit in my own seat, do whatever. They just like to be at home. They both work.
Because he said, I don't have a boatload of money to
disposable cash.
He said, I don't have much of that.
Yeah, don't have a lot of disposable cash, but you can tell he's a little frugal with his money, and so they seem like they work well. They both like to work out, and they're very active. They love their animals, staying at home, their homebodies. So interested to see how their schedules work out. Mm-hmm. With her being in the medical field, him being an IT guy, and just interested to see how they work out. But you know what, Brett. In this episode, I'm a Brett fan.
Yes, I feel better. I feel better about Brett.
Yeah, because Brett last week was getting a lot of heat
from a lot of people. I didn't like that
Brett. A lot of you guys gave Brett a lot of bad vibes or bad heat.
Well, he didn't give us a very good impression. A first impression is a lasting impression. Yeah. And so that first impression, we were like, oh boy.
And I'm just saying, week 2, Brett has come up a little bit.
He has, and I'm hoping he can keep leveling up. Yeah. I hope he doesn't pick us up just to let us down.
But I can see where these two couples can have a good time together. Mm-hmm.
And so at their wedding reception, her mom had words. Yes. She had a nice sweet speech. And then his brother.
Before we go there, Olivia, I like when people do this. Olivia said, you know what? That's what I'm going to look like when I get older.
Oh, yeah. You see that head of gray hair? Yeah.
And I like because, when you go dating somebody or you get in a relationship with somebody, I always look at the parents.
Yes, sir.
I want to see what you're going to look like when you're about 35. When we about 35 years in, 25 years in. Yeah. I want to see what you look like, when you get older. I can say your mama look pretty, so I know you can still look pretty when you get older. So, I'll throw that out there.
My mother's gorgeous, okay.
Yeah, so we wanted to, but that's what was good to me because they had conversation. Her and Brett had good conversation. Even when they tapped their glasses, that they actually kissed. And she's like, do you mind we get a kiss? And
she's like, sure, if you want to.
Sure, if you want to, which is good. It's a good sign that they like it. I guess I don't want to base everything off of last year's season or the last season 10, where these couples were a little, you can tell there was trouble in paradise on day 1. Yeah. Right now, the two couples at least are pretty much even keel, and it seemed like they're having a good time and relaxing and enjoying each other.
And side note, so we laughed about them tapping the glass for Brett and Olivia, and we were like, I don't feel like that would be happening for Karen and Miles.
we didn't see any tap the glass moments.
No, we speculated. I was like, I don't think she's going to go for it. So,
It didn't happen.
All right, so that's the Brett and Olivia. All right, now we to the party couple.
Yeah.
Amani and Woodrow.
And Woodrow.
Woody.
I got a cross shaved in the side of my head.
Yeah, I don't know. Did y'all see that? My husband pointed that out. He was like, is that a cross over his ear?
Cross over his ear. Yeah.
He took the Lord with him down the altar. I'm not mad at you, Woody.
Woody was excited. He said, and they both said the same thing. One thing Woody said, marriage is for life.
Yes.
That's what I wanted to hear. He said it before he even met her. Even so, he said, I'm going to get married. I'm going to do this one time. And then his mom and grandma came in as my daughter who watched this with us. My older daughter's like, that's a missionary from the church. That's an old mother for the church.
Woody's grandma is somebody's church mother. Because only ladies in church were that head wrapped.
The head wrap she had on, but they gave him comforting words, and
a praying grandmother. Okay.
Hey, he had some good comforting words for Woody, and he was excited and he was calm. He was ready to get married, and Mom.
I don't know if he was calm. He wasn't what he was last week. He wasn't bouncing around the walls. Yeah, not right there.
Not right there.
But he did get there.
But you can tell he was that nervous calmness because he wasn't bouncing as much. I mean, I don't care if you really love yours, especially a normal marriage where you know your spouse. Mm-hmm. You're nervous on your wedding day. So when you're don't even know who you're marrying and haven't seen the person, I can imagine the nerves for there. I know when we got married almost 19 years ago. Yeah, and almost 19 years ago, I was still nervous. And I known you for years before we got married, so it was still that nervousness. So now I can imagine not knowing and how nervous this person. Woody was nervous.
Yeah.
Amani was nervous.
He was, but I think his mom and his grandma gave him a little bit of calmness. Mm-hmm. We got to see him and his mom share a touching moment.
Yeah.
They hugged, and she was like, "Don't cry."
But he said something that was key. He said he wanted to be like his dad.
Yeah.
And that was, to me, when you have somebody who has a purpose, getting married, they have a purpose. He's going to do whatever it takes to make sure that this thing works because he does not want to be like his father. And that's a sad thing to say, but he wants to make sure that he does it and does it right. Right.
And on the flip side, like Amani's friends, that's what they want for her. They want like her friend got really emotional and teary. I want somebody who's going to treat her right and be that right person for her. I mean, her friend was in tears.
But she was the one that was married to the married. She was the one that messed with the married man and didn't know he was married. So right now she's going into this relationship or going into this marriage already having trust issues.
Right.
So she needs someone to be able to basically got her back, that she can trust and that she know that what. Through thick and thin, he's going to be with me. And she said it too after they got married. You know what? This is for forever, ever. Forever, ever? Forever, ever? Forever, ever. Mm-hmm. What marriage. So, in which they calmed each other down and she came down and Woody came into the reception hall first or into the reception hall. Mm-hmm. Hotel,
the wedding venue,
ballroom, synagogue, church, sanctuary, whatever. But he came in first and said hi to Mom and everybody. He waved.
They were impressed.
They was happy and they was impressed. And they gave that seal of approval. And she comes down in her with her two fathers.
Yes, her father and her stepfather. Who they had a nice talk. They had a nice talk with her before she came out.
Yes. And she's laughing. And she's laughing at Amani's dad. Because he could not say.
Apprehensive. He said, I can tell my daughter has a little bit of apprehensive.
And
I think he was apprehensive too because he couldn't get the word out.
He couldn't get the word out, but I don't mess. He was nervous as well. And look, some people don't do well in front of TV cameras.
Let me tell you something. Nothing gives my heart more joy than somebody tearing up a word. So please forgive me, Amani's daddy. That was hilarious to me, but I digress.
They gave her some comforting words, and she was ready to go. She was ready to go down the aisle. And
they each took a turn and walked her down the aisle,
which was nice.
Daddy first. Mm-hmm. And then stepdaddy.
Yep.
Which it's always cool when, even though parents aren't together. We saw that, I think some with Olivia's. I felt like with Olivia's parents too. I think it was Olivia. Where ex-husbands and current husband's stepfather, they can get along because they didn't look uncomfortable with each other in that setting, and that like they're used to, this is our daughter, we're bringing her up together, and that was good to see. It's always good. It's always good
to have peace in the home and peace in the house. So you want to have that. So she gets down the aisle and she sees Woody and she's like, oh, my husband's pretty cute.
And he grinning.
You're like, really? Like, oh, my wife is pretty beautiful. Yeah. And I think their vows, we talked about their vows. Their vows were sweet in the way they talked about each other and the way he did it. I thought Woody's vows was like, you know what? It's spot on. He like, nah, we ain't going to do this rich or poor stuff for richer or richer.
Right.
Like, yeah, we ain't doing that. It's like, this is where we're going to be at, and this is where we're going to be. Basically just saying our family, we're going to be taken care of, and I'm going to make sure we're in a good place.
And the one thing I noticed, too, is that their vows different from Miles and Karen and Olivia and Brett. It wasn't a whole lot of I promise. Yeah. It's going to be like this, it's going to be like that. Like, they didn't make a whole lot of those promises, and I'm not mad at them, because it's like me and my husband said, so once they get into this process, and if something goes awry with any of the couples, it's like, you look back on the vows like, you lied.
You lied.
You said you were going to be nice. You said you were going to be patient. And you weren't nice. You weren't patient.
You didn't listen.
You weren't sweet. You didn't listen. You didn't carry me through. You weren't there for me when I needed you. You weren't a confidant. So I think it's good to keep it basic and just talk about this journey that we're on. I'm excited about this journey we're on.
You grow into it. You don't want to be like a Zach, who you read all these vows, you got on one knee, and yet
the same daggone day, the next day, that week, like Zach, moved.
Your whole vow is out the window. So you wanted to be able to live up to what you say. So
I like that they did.
I like that they did that too, as well. And then these two, they go and have their quiet 10-minute moment. And I mean,
and Woody is just like, my girl is, hey, he about to open the champagne. He's like, Sweets, I'm about to, do you mind if I call you Sweets? He already got a pet name for her. He is excited.
He like, look at this chocolate over here. Yeah. She's like, you flirting real hard. He like, yeah.
Oh yeah, so, he was flirting. I was like, oh, he likes her. Remember, because I said last week I wasn't sure how it would go, but they both are attracted to each other. They shared a kiss at the altar too, but they're very attracted. Oh, they jumped the broom. I thought that was cute.
And they're both straightforward. And that's what Amani was asking questions, and she wouldn't hold back any punches at Woody, and Woody was giving it right back and not holding back any punches. So I want to see how that dynamic works when you have two straightforward people.
But I still think he's a little more straightforward than probably she is.
Yeah.
So I think it's gonna be good. I know I didn't mean to cut you off because I know y'all don't like that.
But no, they both also found out they work with kids, and so they could partner together. High school age, so he can partner with kids and the kids that he does football with and different things, and she can help mentor his kids to help them get them in college.
He's a stats man too.
That's right. He's a math guy, so he's very smart and intelligent when it comes to math and numbers. So they can work some things together, which explains why he said, "Now we can be rich and rich," because not too many math people are broke.
Right.
But they know the numbers. But so he can do they can work together. So they already found like there was a partnership. He was happy about that he didn't ask, "Do you want kids?" Not right away.
And he was like, I can go either way.
Either way.
They already talked about that. But again, I must say this again. It was some heavy flirting. And I'm not mad. I look at it like, it'd be like if you met somebody at the club. It's like they met each other at the club. Yeah. And across the room, they was like, yep, I want you over here. We're going to dance right here. But that's how you would do in a club. You know what I'm saying? I ain't been to the club in a long time. And I didn't meet him in the club. So,
but even Brett and Olivia, still had some flirting. And it was comfortable. So when you talk about these couples, when you meet the first time, there should be some flirting. There should be some interaction. It's like you're starting the process. Even though you started, you're married, but now you're starting the process. You got married, which is the end result. Now you got to go all the way back to square one and get to know the person. So that they should be flirting, should be conversation, should be some interacting, should be some romancing and some looking into her eyes and grabbing her hand and see how you just did that, kind of grabbing her hand and doing all type of stuff. So it should be that type of stuff that goes on while you are at this dinner or your reception. Yeah. So I like to see that from couples, Brett and Olivia and Miles and Karen. and Amani and Woody. So they had that interaction there. Woody and Amani even had a good time on the dance floor. She was backing it up a little bit, putting her arms around his neck. So you saw them had a good time. Brett and Olivia, you saw them dancing close and having a good time at the reception and at the wedding. So so you saw their family starting to mix together. So now you're starting to see the intertwine and in the workings, because I think it was Olivia's dad who told Brett, we need to talk later.
Well, and I think Amani's did too.
Yeah. And so that's the type of things that I like to see when you deal with couples. What dads are like, you know what, I ain't never really vet you before y'all said I do because of the process. Let's have a conversation. Let's talk a little bit. So that was good there to see Amani and Woody and them interact and
her man of honor gave a nice speech, and she hates smacking. Woody says I do too, and then he gave him some little tad bit of info. She likes roses, has to be yellow.
Gotta be yellow.
And so he made a mental note. He was like, okay, yellow roses. And then
next episode, we're gonna see yellow roses all season.
We're gonna do that again. It's gonna be rose petals all the time. But his cousin Gerard gave a really touching speech. Woody was like, I didn't expect that. So I think it's good they're getting to see this side of each other, and hopefully they can hold on to that.
One thing I didn't like about tonight, we got 2 hours. You only gave me 3 weddings in 2 hours. I'm sorry. They could have did all 5 weddings in 2 hours, and next week we come into the point where they meet the family and maybe part of the honeymoon.
Or all the receptions. Or
all the receptions next week. The next episode could have gave me all 5 weddings. So I just, with Lifetime Married at First Sight, that's the only thing I could say about this episode was like we should have had all 5 weddings.
Yeah, because actually we got 3 and like a half.
And 3.5.
Yeah, we got the half. We got half of Amelia and Bennett.
Yeah, Bennett, and we saw her mom and we saw his mom, and they seem like the families do mesh because they all look a little weird.
Yeah, don't do that. They're eclectic.
They're eclectic, sorry.
They're eclectic. They're unique. And so we got to see Amelia in there real quick. She had a gift from her husband-to-be. Bennett sent her a gift. And they took it out, and all her bridesmaids were like, oh my gosh, it goes so good with your outfit. He gave her a pebble.
Yes.
He gave her a pebble.
And all of them had different color outfits.
On a chain.
All different color outfits on.
Yeah.
The vibe of Mardi Gras.
And she's got the bird in her hair.
Right.
In her nest of hair. And her mom comes in with the fascinator. This kind of like a bird in the bush too.
And then her bridesmaids came in on a unicycle.
Oh my god!
In the middle, and so they're having a good time in
with
the wedding.
Those funky curtain type veils.
Yes,
it was different. I mean, her whole side. Not that Bennett's side wasn't different, but her side of the wedding was very different with masks on and stuff.
She embraced the culture of New Orleans, and that's the only thing I can figure that she's embraced the New Orleans culture, the Mardi Gras. All that. She embraced what it was gonna be, and she's from New Orleans, so she embraced it, and she threw it and put it into her wedding. Can't say it right, wrong, indifferent. Everybody has to.
I'm not saying that. I'm just they were a different bunch, and Bennett's looking like, oh wow, okay. Yeah. And so, but before we get there too, so we saw Amelia's mom, and we saw a little bit so she's like Amelia, just not to the Amelia extreme. Her mom was. So then we see Bennett's mom. And Bennett's mom was like my baby, they take care of my baby. He's so special and he's so different. And I hope he gets somebody. This is strange. I mean, this is strange. This is really strange. I don't know how to feel about this. I mean, she was, I wish your socks were cleaner, Mom. We already talked about that.
Yeah. His friends talked about his socks. And we realized and we came to the conclusion, Bennett let us know that he hadn't had relations in 6 months. Which explains why he was really dancing with the strippers from last week. I got a question for you. If you go back and watch episode 1 and watch Bennett dancing with the strippers, his pants are soaking wet. If someone knows what happened to his pants, did he have a mistake? Did he spill something on himself? Please let us know, because we have a little discussion on what happened to Bennett in front of his pants while he was dancing to the strippers.
I think he spilled something
with the strippers.
I really do. He looks like the type of person that just would spill something or bump into something like, oh my gosh. But she was like, I really want somebody to be nice and kind and take care of my son. Yeah, and she looks like
I don't think they have to worry about that. I think she's gonna be nice and kind. I think they're gonna have interact well with each other. I think Bennett may have to wait a little bit longer before he gets his 6 months are up. Even though he's married. I think even when they was coming out, they were like, "Oh, I know her." Bennett was like, "I know her," and she like, "I know."
Well, she said first, whispered to her mom, "I met him before." And even when she started coming out the aisle, they're looking at each other like, "Oh wow!"
Oh, wow. So,
and the officiant's like, "So let's meet for the first time." Amelia and Bennett's like, "Well, not for the first time."
He said, "I'm gonna have
this is gonna be interesting."
He said, "I'm gonna have to change my vows on the fly."
This is gonna be interesting.
I'm interested to see where they met each other and how they met each other.
And is this a good or bad thing? Like I couldn't get a feel. We're thinking it's probably a good thing. I hope it's a good thing, but I couldn't really get a vibe of. Oh, is it a, oh my gosh, I met her before? Or was it a, oh my gosh, I met her before. This is awesome.
Yeah, because Amelia wasn't getting off. She was getting off like where she was shot.
She was like, ah.
So didn't know which way. So let us know which one you thought. Was it a good vibe or a bad vibe that Bennett knew Olivia? And I guess that's the theme of the show because everybody said New Orleans is a small city, small town, 400,000 people.
I can't believe that though.
Everybody knows everybody and on a dating scene. So everybody knew everybody in New Orleans. But I digress. So they got 2 more couples next week. We got to finish Bennett and Olivia. Bennett and Amelia, excuse me. And then we got Henry and Christina.
Yes.
Next week. And we'll get to see how that week. The clips show that Christina seems like she's a piece of work.
Yeah.
That she has some issues. That she might be a little stuck up, a little bougie, a little high maintenance, whatever way it is.
Henry is so chill.
Henry's so chill. So
I still almost kind of feel like he would have been better with Olivia.
We'll see. We'll see. Time will tell. Hey, hope you enjoyed the review. We missed anything, please leave a comment in the comment section about what we missed. We also missed last week. I wanted to talk about Bennett also has a flip phone. Didn't talk about that last week. How are you in the 2020 and you're still rocking a flip phone and you're not 65, 70, or 80 years old?
Right, it's not a jitterbug.
It's not a jitterbug. He must be a conspiracy theorist and he thinks people are tracking him because he still have a flip phone.
Well, no. He lives in a tiny house that doesn't have a bathroom. He's very minimalist. So I don't think it's conspiracy theory as much as, what do I need a smartphone for? I don't need all that stuff.
But you're a bike guy. So what if you don't put GPS on a flip phone?
He's got a TomTom or a Garmin.
Anyway, we know we missed talking about that, but let us know about Bennett's flip phone. So there's a lot of questions tonight. Make sure, again, before we leave, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you hit that bell notification. Make sure you check out our Instagram. Also check out our link in the description for our podcast, which we'll be getting back to shortly. So make sure you check all those things out. And again, thank you for joining us as always.
Oh, yeah. And thank y'all for all the compliments about my hair. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I like your hair too.
Heavy flirting going on. Have a good one. Bye.
Bye.